his ideas in every which way to benefit, as opposed to working with him, and then we can all benefit from, because you're helping to him move forward, or helping her, the person, to move forward in that specific field. So we need to support people who are in the know, or people who have this knack for whatever science or whatever art or whatever they're doing in order to help the masses, as opposed to the opposite is working against the individual, but also which works against the masses. So they make you out to not be believed when you all are believable, or you're not credible when you actually are credible. And you don't have the talent when your talent is superior to anybody else's on the market. So they reverse what you say and do because of their objectives and who they are. So even if there's a truth and you can prove it, they'll want you to believe what they said they are, or what they laid out to be the truth, because they said it. There's nothing true about it. When you go look and investigate it, you'll find out over time that, well, they're lying. And you can see they're lying, and it's like, who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? But you see that they're lying. You know that they're lying. And they just want to say, oh, no, it is the way it is because I said it was the way it is. In other words, they're going to claim truth over victory with lies. Yeah, they're going to claim victory with truth over, truth with lies. So basically, they're saying, well, hey, this is all true, but they're lying about everything. So that basically they said nothing. I mean, unless you want to believe it, but then you're following a logic that's illogical, which ends up to a conclusion of nothingism or destruction. So the problem people is a structure that confuses people, and the people die for the lack of knowledge and continue on this path of self-ignorance, self-destruction, by using these negatives. There are many, many negatives. Even if we were only using 47 negatives, there would be, I guess, approximately 13,983,816 number of possibilities just with 47 negatives. Although I bring it down to the shortest amount to give you the understanding, because but there are at least double that amount, at least from my estimate. They could be triple, I don't know, because I didn't bother to worry about all of them because I minimized it. In other words, I made it minimal so you can do this easily without racking your brains. You want to make it as simple as possible. You don't want to cause anxiety. You don't want to overthink. You want to be able to teach this to a child of 5 so even they can understand and grow up with the human instruction. But some of it you may find complicated, but we are here to help one another, and that's the bigger picture of it. So even if there were 47, again, it was like, approximately 14 million. And then, so you figure there's at least double, so you figure almost double that. So it's approximately 28 million. I mean, the exact number was 27,967,632, a number of negative possibilities of negative projection structure. So they can come up to you with a plethora of different combinations of games. So I can have a book of negatives that has approximately 30 million different ways to hurt people. But once you develop the smaller understanding of this, you will be able to decipher it quickly. It's some sort of code that once you see the structure between logical and illogical, you'll be able to identify exactly where and when the problem started and how it works and where it's leading to. So rather than give you all these, rather than 37 or 30 million examples, exactly 27, I got 27,967,632 examples. What I would do is just is going to give you examples of how they work to master this understanding. So although the subject of problem people, aka negative games people play. So basically, problem people is the negative games people play. But there's a lot of different games, millions, like I'm trying to explain to you so you can understand it. But I'm going to do it in such a way that you'll be able to identify it faster than someone can spit it out their mouth. So this section, problem people, is games people play, basically. And it is imperative that you go through these lessons so that in the end you would have mastered the understanding of how the problem people work, or how negative game people play works. And you awaken then, therefore, into the enlightenment process. Although evil has been hitting so long, and it was very tricky coming up exactly how it all works, because it seems like there's some kind of movement behind the scenes that helps these negatives maneuver. But then as you progress, you'll be able to identify the next movement, where it's going, how it all started. So again, all this is to keep you in bondage and slavery. The human instruction will show you exactly what is behind the curtain of this deception. Negative people are a direct contradiction of deceit, hypocrisy, and ignorance. So they're hypocrites, they deceive, and they're ignorant. That's how negatives work. That's how negative people are structured. But this is because of their own lack of knowledge. Once they go through the human instruction, they themselves will be able to unlock themselves like a Rubik's Cube, and all you have to do is follow along. And once you follow along, and once you finished all 12 lessons, or whatever, if there's more, but the basic 12 will give you the full understanding. After that, it's just more, which many people want the fullest understanding as possible, because it would benefit them. So therefore, you're no longer ignorant, you're no longer deceived, you're no longer a hypocrite, but you are one. But you will know how to get there, as opposed to all these people that are walking around with all these problem belief structures that only debilitates them, that are exposed over the 14 that we will be going over soon. So if you don't understand one thing, just keep going through the conveyor belt of this awakening, and you will then understand it over time. So if you ever do go back, you'll be have twice the understanding that you had before. So you will see the same human instruction at a different level. So you're required to understand the human instruction, and just keep it and use it as needed. And as you go through 1 through 12, you become better, smarter, stronger, better, smarter, stronger. And as you continue to grow older, better, smarter, stronger. And if we can do that all together at once and have this universal enlightenment throughout this planet, then we can indeed do things that we thought that were unheard of, and feel things that we thought that were impossible, and also do things that we thought were impossible. As as we continue on this journey of growth as opposed to a journey of death and destruction. So you will see that these negative people they lie from today to tomorrow and expect you to believe believe these lies, and it becomes a real major problem when they start putting people in positions of power when you know they're lying to your face, trying to say that you have no power or you are in our power. But once you begin to understand the human instruction, you can get out of that. And therefore, it helps to create better politics, because now they'll be like, well, these people aren't falling for this anymore. Let's just be honest. And so therefore, you can continue to grow, which I would hope would be what they want, because it's like a kid that has a game, and you're playing a game, and he see that you're winning, and because he's not winning, he doesn't want to have fun and play the game anymore, so he destroys the whole field, all the game and the toys, and that's only because his lack of knowledge. So instead of continuing to have fun where he could win or not win, but just have fun and play the game, and knowing that the losing and winning is within his own structure and the gifts that we have, he would rather just destroy and hate, because that's all he knows, or she knows. That's their understanding, because it lacks knowledge. So this is actually the human instruction. So just imagine there's a human instruction book, which this is. Now, you only know 2 chapters, so you're going around through life with only 2 chapters when there's 12 chapters. Even all these different Bibles, they don't all possess the true knowledge. Even in the literature themselves, they show you that the Bible's actually bigger. And we will go into the parts that you're missing from the Bible and from the beginning of time, which creates more confusion and ignorance. So the past, present, and future expose them and who they are, which, again, it's problem people, because you can be a problem people or person because you lack the knowledge, so you're going to follow the path of ignorance because you don't know any better. But once you know how to make yourself better or how to do better, you will follow that procedure because it's better. And you will live better and be happier. Over the structure that you had made for yourself over time, which most likely was taught to you and withheld from you, so making you out to be a problem. So making them to be shown and proven over time through past, present, and future of who they are. The ignorant hypocrites over time, and constantly inconsistent. So the negative people are consistently inconsistent, but a positive person is consistently consistent. So one person is always the same today, yesterday, and always the same, while the other person is being a two-face always. So if he says he's doing good, you know he's not doing good. If he says up, it's going to be down. If he says left, it's to the right, as opposed to being consistently consistent over time, as which also the entity of the singularity, which we call God, is. The same today, tomorrow, and always. Okay, then we move on to... okay, so there's a lot of material to cover, but not much time to show you the entirety of the numbers, like I said. So in other words, it may appear to be long because in an effort to expedite this process, I am not going to tell you those millions and millions of ways negative people will do things bad, because because it becomes repetitive. And so, in an attempt to not be repetitive, I brought it down to what I thought was a comfortable level. So, in an effort to expedite this process, I made as many as I thought was needed in order for you to understand the system, and that I'm not really editing anything. Technically, I should have been way in advance, but I'm talking about at a level that most people couldn't even comprehend. But I have to, or I choose to do this for certain private reasons, basically to help all of us, including myself, so that we can continue on this upward bound and not be like Jonah. So when you hear the voice of God and He directs you, and you know it's a good idea and it's for your betterment and it's for all our betterments. So that's how we can come to this understanding that we need this total instruction in order to not come out wanting or have blank pockets of knowledge in our minds and in our bodies and in our understanding or in our government, in any section of our lives, including our animals, our energy, to be cohesive as opposed to confusing the right and wrong. So I'm trying to expedite this as quickly and efficiently as possible. If there are any discrepancies, maybe we can come to it at the end, but I very much doubt it. It's pretty flawless. If anything, I may make or say something meaning left to right or right to left, but with the explanation, it should correct the matter. Again, this human instruction, it's mind-blowing, to say the least. But anyway, we continue. So people will have to excuse it. To reject God in order for them to go into a negative space. But then there are those who say they claim to accept God, but their actions and their motives are nowhere near in alliance with what they say they are. So there's, the honest negative and the dishonest negative, and they're exposed by who they say they are and what they really do, especially in secrecy and secret. Again, this going to heaven or hell with these people with this understanding of positive and negatives, they're claiming God to be this evil person. But that's only because they don't want God. They don't want the good. They just want to do things that hurt people. And which then they hurt themselves, because hurt people hurt people. So many people use their beliefs in order to these illogical beliefs in order to perpetuate this negative understanding. So their structure exposes who they are, especially when you start describing their beliefs. So even the Bible sort of, the Bible contradicts itself in many sections. We'll go over that little by little, but even a perception is saying, they may say, well, we're not perfect. You're just a filthy rag, which basically saying you're evil, you're garbage. That concept is not good. If you're going to think yourself as garbage or think yourself of a filthy rag, then what's the good in even trying to be good? Because then you'll say, well, you're garbage and you're imperfect and you're so full of flawed, what's the difference? But see, that's a belief, and that belief is going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's going to manifest itself as opposed to saying, I am not a filthy rag. I am a